Hello, everybody, and welcome to Steakdorra the Explorers review REL 1 and 2A in Season 14. This is Week 8, if I'm doing my counting correctly, which I very well may not be. This season is flying by.
It really is, yeah.
I don't believe it is Week 8 already. Like, we are in the weeks now where, you know, every match matters for playoffs, and you know, people are making their decisions about whether they think they should reroll, whether they think they are going to push for playoffs, whether they are going to start rebuilding. Like, it's for the rest of the games. We're getting to the point where it's starting to get pretty exciting. We get to pay attention to the playoff race. Nothing is confirmed anywhere yet because there's plenty to go still, but they're certainly getting very close to people who can't make playoffs anymore. So we're making some progress, and I'm already starting to feel the barest tingles of playoff hype deep in my nether regions.
Gross. You know, I wasn't trying to egg you into being lewd.
Well, I was trying to I wanted to say something but the first word that came to my mind, meaning sort of like on the inside, ended up being nether regions because I didn't want there to be a big pause. And I couldn't think of another word, so I just went for it.
Superfed, the bastion of tingling nether, says you should get that looked at by a doctor. So I trust him.
I wouldn't.
That's a man who's had some STDs in his life.
Well, this is shaping up to be a wonderfully PG episode so far.
It's 35 degrees outside. I want to die.
That's fair. It's warm here too, but not that warm.
It's okay. This is a sex-positive stream, Superfed. No one's shaming you for that.
That's true.
Your disgusting body is just, something we're all willing to embrace. I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Okay, let's do Blood Bowl things, right?
UTIs aren't sex. Well, I mean, whatever.
I mean, it's hard to call them that because they're not. They can be, but that's not what they are generally, right?
Yes, it's also hard for men to get them.
Okay, let's get into the game. So we've picked. We're gonna watch Fall versus Yayo in 2B for several reasons. One, we watched 2A.
Yes.
I'm in 2B. We watched Div 1 last week, and this game we predicted it differently. We both predicted different coaches. It doesn't look terribly boring from the 2 seconds of stats we looked at, and also it's relatively important for playoffs in that if Fall wants to maintain his sort of playoff contention status, he has to win this one. Yayo is, sort of bottom of the table right now, so he's not necessarily in the playoff hunt, but Fall certainly is. If he loses this, he's kind of out of the playoff hunt. If he wins it, he ends up, I think, tied for the Challengers Cup spot, so it puts them pretty close. So and we're at week 8, so I'd like to start focusing on the games that are relevant for the people that are staying in sort of the playoff standings as the main focus now, I think. Give a little attention to the people that are trying to push for it, mainly, that sort of thing. I think it'll be fun. So let's get into this game and stop talking about things that aren't Blood Bowl, shall we? Okay, here we are, Yayo, and Fall, High Elves and Nurgle. The Nurgle are going to be trying to kill the Elves before the Elves score, and the Elves are going to try to score before they die, and that's pretty much what this game is going to be. You're here to make me look better by comparison. I think you are the pretty one in this relationship.
I don't think that's how comparisons work.
I mean, fair, but if you compare, the two-headed monster that is us. Okay, shall we go? Oh, it's so bright and it hurts my eyes without the filter. I'm really unhappy. Okay, I suffer for you people.
Why are you such a whittle bitch?
I suffer for my art. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Fall has a babe and a wizard, and that's about it. We're in the security gate, so the Nurgle Stadium security gate.
Yep, and Fall chose to kick first. Fall won the fame. So Fall, everything coming up Fall for this starting portion. They've got a babe and a wizard, like you said.
It is worth noting that you predicted Fall and I predicted the Nurgle. I don't remember why I predicted the Nurgle, but apparently I did. So here we go.
I remember you at some point saying something along the lines of, as a Nurgle coach, this looks winnable to me or something like that.
I don't know.
Seems like the sort of meaningless drivel you would let come out of your mouth.
Probably. I mean, I think everything I say is meaningless. I mean, everything is recorded. I could go back and listen to why, but
Man,
I don't care enough, so there you go.
That's a spicy kick. Unless he catches it.
Yep.
Or it bounces out.
No, he caught it, so everything's fine.
Move the ball, friend. Yayo. Move the ball. I know you're like, 2 dice are fine. What could go wrong? Move the ball.
Yeah, see, like, I generally, like, it's very common to see, like, Nurgle or Chaos coaches, you know, do their LOS blocks before they, like, move the ball, but that generally happens because the ball is in the backfield, and if you fail something, you aren't instantly going to lose. Like, if you quad skulled on one of those blocks, this game is over.
Why move up and assist, though, as well? You've got...
That was slightly unnecessary. Well, I mean, it's to, like, you know, protect him afterwards, but you could have done that after you did the block.
Well, spoilers, this guy is not protected currently.
No, he's not.
Also, that beast is going to be pretty easy to block off, probably, unless you throw the Blodge Garter in there, too, but then he's just...
We do.
You're just dictating which one you're hitting, I guess. I guess that helps there, so... where's the ball going? I guess probably in the middle here.
Yeah, I mean, we can either put it...
Taking some serious movement.
We could be really aggressive and put it up here, or it could be slightly safer and put it back.
Why would we keep it back? I guess. It's technically a based cage. That's a... Wait. He knows the Blitzer can hit him, right? Oh, the Blitzer totally had a hit there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, no, I might be wrong. You would have to cut a corner. Like you'd have to do a hard dodge. I thought for sure that was 9, but it's 10. That's my rat instincts, I think. I've like played with movement 9, movement 10.
That thing that's reasonably far away. I could probably make that, right?
That looks like a free hit on the ball to Justin, you know.
From like, half the pitch away, yeah.
Yeah. Turns out everything is a free hit on the ball when you have 2 hits.
You're becoming T-self. What a simple 4+, 5+ uphill sack.
Look, uphill sacks are just the bread and butter. There's no Will the Mighty Blow Tackle Frenzy piece do a thing?
Frenzy sidestep.
It will. It's a stun. Not getting damage really yet. Got 1 removal.
Still on a loner.
Yeah, just on a loner, but there is no bench, so that is a big deal. Stuns are nice, though. I mean, stunning elves does make it easier for you to progress. He's got to be careful not to overcommit here, but I think he's in a good position.
Yep, we're just going to move the ball up.
He's playing weird with the ball. The ball should be moving up more than this, I feel. Like, this is, like, this open form cage shit is not really, like... necessary.
No, there's no like leap or anything that you have to worry about, and even if there was, you have enough guard that it would be okay. Like you could move right up behind like the beast if you wanted to. I mean, maybe not that far because the big cage corner is based, but you could go further forward than this.
I mean, you had a 2+ dodge in the backfield here into a 1 die with the catcher if you wanted it.
1 die on block with no real recovery.
On block. Yeah, no recovery, but getting the ball on the ground versus Nurgle is, you know, a good defensive strategy.
I mean, that's fair. Although it's...
He is playing scared of the wizard, but, like, I don't know.
And maybe, like, it could be... My strategy against wizards is to pretend they don't exist, and most people end up fireballing you because you cage, and then the fireball doesn't do anything because fireballs suck.
Yes, but also...
although, like, 1 in 10 games you just lose. I'm like, oh, good. Well, it's my fault.
Overly scared of fireballs, I think, and also can inadvertently play into the bolt in these kind of cases.
Yeah, right? Because the bolt, you kind of, you know, it's similar to vampires, sort of in that it's like you can treat it as a free blitz if you want, right? Like you can blitz down the cage corner, or bolt the ball, blitz down the cage corner, or vice versa. To make the...
Hey, look, it's a leap cage, but, you know, it's based. Except it's pretty hard to get this off, so it's fine. I don't think, I was gonna say, I don't think that's the wizard. I think this is a punch on the very exposed cosmic.
Yeah.
Gets him down. This could be a big removal if he gets
it. This is Mighty Blow.
Just a stun, but, you know, keeps him down the ground for a turn.
Oh, that's at least one mighty blow.
Oh, that's the only tackle killer on the field right now.
It's at least one mighty blow tackle that you don't get hit by.
Carrier.
Man, playing Nurgle without tackle sucks. Just so everyone's aware. Would highly recommend against it.
Red die on the Beast of Nurgle is good enough.
Oh yeah, the Beast is a rookie, so yes. Stand firm.
It's a good skill. Elves being elves, dodging away without using rerolls. Nurgle rebasing.
I mean,
gonna go for a lucky POW on the strength guy, and they don't get it, which means
they kind of have to do like some basing a little bit, otherwise the elves are just gonna they're gonna keep backing up and just screening.
Ooh, that's a really big, really stupid.
Oh, you're ahead.
I'm sorry.
There's the really stupid. Yeah, that would have been nice. We could have put him on, he would have been blocked by the strength guy, but that's if you're lucky.
Well, there's no guard, so it would have been hard for them to get a meaningful block on that. Now,
there's just,
if there was going to be a fireball, this would be the fireball.
And there's just so much value in making it so that the elves have X fewer players to like do something with next turn reliably.
I wouldn't hate the bolt here. Yeah. Oh, but the bolt fails. I was gonna say I wouldn't hate the bolt on the ball here, given how he's spread out and how many pieces you have in good positions for recovery. But the bolt is a super fed bolt.
You are slightly ahead, but it's probably fine.
A lot of pushes. Turn for Yayo, to say the least.
No, yeah, not bad turn anyway.
Well, I mean, your opponent's 150k inducement failing, and then your opponent rolling nothing but pushes on a bunch of relevant blocks is certainly not bad.
Yeah, that's why I said not bad.
Gets the Blodge Nurgle Warrior down in the back. This is a good target, I think. I like this from Fall. It puts the Nurgle Warrior firmly out of the game, probably for the rest of the drive.
Yeah, that's fair. And I was going to say something similar about the elves. Like, there's just so much value in making the elves have 3 non-reliable players to do things. Like, if you got the beast in that spot, the elves can still do things, and it's not terribly difficult to push the beast off or dodge away or whatever. But the point is they have to do things. They can't just move players wherever they want. They have to try to roll stuff to make that happen. And so that means, they have a chance at failing, and a lot of elf coaches won't do it first because they have a chance at failing it. So their options become more limited, and you can sometimes make screens harder to make that way, and then it gives you a hole to blitz through sometimes, and it makes a lot of big difference.
Still no removals though. Lots of stuns, so elves getting away with that at least. They are taking a couple of extra hits each turn. Moves here to make it tougher for the beast to get blocked reasonably, but
he failed the lightning bolt, Big Chuck, last turn.
Yeah, you missed there was a bolt. Nurgle Warrior going down, but is not dead despite his name. This is I like this. There's no real there's no easy way to clear this guy off if the elves get really up in Ball's face right now. Oh, never mind. There's a hit on the ball. What am I talking about?
Yep. Here we go.
Does not get it down. Does not get it down. I forgot that the blitz hadn't been used. That he popped that open without using the blitz. Well, now there's very little. There's no. Well, they have to come in. Can they move the Nurgle Warrior? So yeah, you can get one of these two off the ball.
And so you do have the ball carrier does have 2 heads. So the dodge out isn't actually that terrible if you're willing to.
Oh, he blocks with the ball carrier.
If you're willing to commit a reroll to it, he does have tackle.
Oh, hey, he gets a removal.
Rewarded. I guess you still have plenty of time. I was gonna say it wasn't that bad. You could have.
Yeah, but now what are you gonna do about? Oh, I guess you can come in with the tackle frenzy piece.
You could have pretty easily blitzed off one of the elves in the corner here. You had rotters that could be.
This is a frenzy trap.
And then dodge away.
Oh, never mind. He doesn't have sidestep. It's not a frenzy
with
trap.
The ball carrier. So it wasn't that bad for the Nurgle.
I would have considered it. Why didn't you reroll there? I would have considered that.
That's a good question.
Now you're just gonna get hit. And also, you could have done it with the beast. Yeah, I don't know about this.
Apparently we are.
I feel like that turn could have been better. Oh yeah, we can protect the ball on that side.
And this would feel
Okay, well,
so much better if that beast had guard or stand firm or something.
So yeah, your killer immediately gets punched, which is expected because there's no guard in here. Gets injured, but does get better.
He's okay. He'll be fine. The good news for the Nurgle is that they are they're not out of scoring range. Like they're close enough that if they have to, like blitzing a hole through the screen and potatoing to score is entirely possible. Like relying on dice certainly, but not unreasonable to have to do to score.
This is the turn when the elves really get in your face. Yeah, I think you might have misplayed that last turn a bit.
You could have like the dodge away was pretty reliable if you're willing to commit a reroll to it because he has two heads.
I mean, I don't even hate the ball carrier block. You're in a good enough position to score. Like the elves are not really screening you off, but I did hate not rerolling the hit on the strength piece.
Oh, there's a field dodge.
Oh, he uses the reroll.
No.
Well, because now he wants to screen off, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, tried to red dye the beast.
Foul appearance.
Oh.
And then he red dyes the beast. Oh.
Beast doing some work there.
So we can score now. We can score now with two GFIs. It gives the elves 2 turns, which isn't great, but given the position you're in, it might be really hard to stall safely unless this is like a removal or a stun.
Yeah, you needed that.
If that was a stun, you probably could have stalled, but that
you can consider fouling it, but that's again you're praying not to get fucked there, obviously.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like we can score right now. So it looks like we're aiming to stall, which is a little bit scary.
Oh, we're 100% stalling, yeah.
Just a bit scary.
It's another stun. Stuns are nice.
It's not unreasonable. It's just a little scary. Because the elves kind of have most of their team to do what they want with.
Ooh, I don't like basing him there. Why would you base him? No, buddy. No.
I mean,
No, he just goes in on the Nurgle Warrior. Doesn't matter anyway.
no.
So he's just gonna get really, really, really in his grill with Blodge Step.
Yeah, pretty much. Which is like, this is the danger of not having scored, is that the elves have so many players to do what they want with. They can just be like, here, have all the elves in the world, and you don't really have any way of dealing with it. So you can pray you get a POW on the catcher who's on the ball, and then you can blitz the rookie lion elf and then dodge backwards and go score that way. But it kind of like pray you get a POW.
Oh, you're getting a 3 die. That's what you're doing here, I think. No, that's not a 3 die. It's a POW anyway. Oh, filled all the squares.
That works. That works too. But you just have to. Well.
Ooh, gets the injury. That's nice.
Well, now you're in your own way, are you not?
Ooh, yeah, I think you need to not follow there.
Even if you did follow, you're still in your own way.
Well, now you can block. You can block. You can throw 1 die here and then blitz through with the ball.
You can also surf that guy, and then you can blitz.
Oh wait, what are we doing? What?
You can surf that guy, and then you can blitz the rookie here, and then go backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with 1 GFI.
Yeah, but now he's
like, so you just, if you get him out of the way, you can get through with 1 GFI, but now you don't have to reroll for it. Like, this is
1, 2, 3, 4.
that double
Okay.
skull's unfortunate.
Ooh,
No, I like this. This is like
yeah, it was a 2 custom scoring. I mean,
this is pretty much what I would have done. Although I feel like I don't think I would have gotten in my own way, so I didn't have to do the GFI. But then you don't get the 3 die, which I don't know.
He never got a 3 die.
Oh, that's true. So then you don't get to fill the squares. But he could.
Oh, you needed to fill the squares to get the chain push.
You didn't need a chain push.
No, but it made it easier if you didn't get the POW.
Yeah, because if he did, well, and if he did get the POW, he could have sidestepped the spot you wanted to be in too, as well. So it's kind of annoying. I don't know. I'm not going to try to figure out which one was better in the very little time we actually have to assess it. But man, that failed GFI was really unfortunate. But I think that was the right way to do it.
Killer is a KO.
You are ahead.
Paused.
There's the surf and do a KO. Depression is KO'd. If only we could do that.
Oh, did he choose not to? Let me look. Yes, you're right. He chose not to sidestep.
Oh, that's weird. But
he could have sidestepped up into the
can't,
right. So, like, you didn't...
You can't assume your opponent is not going to use their skills, though. So that's not something that you could have planned for.
Alright, I am at setup. Let me know when you get there.
Oh, okay. Well, I was watching the KOs. The elves get one of them back.
Because I went backwards in time to see if the hole had been filled, and he's right.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, we are at setup. So now, that's not great for the Nurgle, frankly. If they had scored there, if they had scored there, they're pretty likely to get a tie and possibly to get a win. Not scoring there with the removals that have happened, right? There's only 2, is not enough to make it very easy to stop the elves from scoring. So it's going to be not true.
Or to dictate when the elves score. So
yeah,
it's hard to imagine. Hard to imagine a win. Even harder to imagine even a tie. So
yeah, like if there's a couple more removals and we didn't score, then you can still probably either defend it or dictate that the elves quick score, and then you have a chance at winning or pretty likely tying. If you did score there, then it doesn't matter how many removals you get, you still have a pretty good chance of tying. But you kind of needed one or the other, and we got neither, unfortunately.
I think the Nurgle Warriors should be on the edges here. Like, you do technically, with the strength 4, they do have the ability to blitz 2 dies through here. He's going to get extra blocks too because you set up this close.
The other thing,
it's just on Rotters, but if Rotters go down, obviously, quick snap here is a really, really good thing for the elves.
The other thing about having the Nurgle Warriors to the edge is that if the elves set up to try to 2-turn or something, you can guaranteed get 2 foul or disturbing presences on either side. Right now, you might only be able to get 1, but.
No, it doesn't actually take any extra blocks. Just goes for a Mighty Blow Blitz on the Rotter. This is the elves saying, I'm going to play it really safe.
Yeah, and they don't need to do anything, so...
They don't need to go fast.
Gotta go fast. I mean, don't gotta go fast.
Oh, you're going to be proud of me, Ben. I didn't take a 3+3+ with no reroll in my last game to go up 2-0 when I automatically won 1-0.
That does sound very much like a Steakmittens.
But it was a hard decision. I would have leveled my gutter runner by making that 3+3+.
Wait, if was there any consequence to failing the 3+3+?
Yeah, I mean it gave it an option for him.
Oh, okay, then yeah, I would. I'm very proud of you. That sounds like something I would have done.
It's an injury.
Oh man, that's the second set of double skulls.
Strongly considered it. Was that a double skull? Oh,
it was the second set of double skulls for Yayo. It's an injury out of it, which is something, but it might be if the injuries start rolling now, there's still an okay chance, but they're going to have to be quick and fearsome.
You know, I don't know that you need 3 players on 1 rookie lineman. I understand the temptation. It is now a triple red die instead of a normal red die to throw it, but throwing red dies with a blockless player against Mighty Blow, you know, you're not.
It's a rookie lineman. I guarantee you, the only thing he's doing next turn is trying to dodge away at the end of the turn.
Fails the dodge. Goes for the 1 die. Gets it. He's trying to make a hole to make some forward progress. It looks
Zagini is hosting.
The dodge has been used.
Welcome along, folks. We are looking at match results from REBBL, REL 1 and 2A. So if you don't care a whole lot about us reviewing results from other games that have occurred, I don't blame you for leaving, but I do welcome you along, and that's what we're doing for now, or for tonight. But I appreciate the support.
I was like, this ball seems exposed, and then I remember that Nurgle can't move.
This ball seems exposed. Maybe if you're Skaven. They're
Yeah, that's a free hit on the ball, you know.
They are. Oh, there they go. They were hosting. Now they're raiding. I'm not sure how that worked out, but there we go. Now they're actually.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Yeah.
But they would have heard what I said before. They just wouldn't have been in chat, I think. I'm pretty sure I understand how Twitch works.
I guess my camera there does block the player frames. We should probably put it next to you.
Well, when we have that, it blocks the other frames in... it blocks stuff in REBBL.net, which is where we spend most of our time, and I don't want to... I mean, what I should do is be less lazy and set up a separate scene for that. Welcome! Yay! The third time that you rated us. Definitely getting some weird bugs. Yeah, what I should...
We lost 4 people in the meantime. 4 people didn't quite make it on the second raid,
That's
you
fair.
know? There's a body count.
They left some behind.
Yeah. Families to feed.
What I should do...
I'm sure the community will band together.
Is not be lazy and set up separate scenes for this and for the REBBL.net portion, but I, you know...
So you're saying it's impossible.
Yeah. Asking me to not be lazy is quite impossible. Oh, okay. So the elves are starting to run around the Nurgle chunk in the center.
Yeah, they are just kind of dancing around them.
That's not unexpected. That looks like a scoring threat.
The guy 1 square away from the end zone looks like a scoring.
Yeah, he could probably score. Doesn't have to move very far.
I think so. He's got +1, so he automatically has at least enough movement to score, even if he's movement 0.
That's true. And you can't be movement 0.
Not with that attitude.
Well, we can't surf him, but we can try to knock him down. And we fail to do that.
We can fail. I'm very ahead, apparently, so I'm going to pause, given that you just saw
Can we... I'm really excited for a mighty yeet from the accurate strong arm thrower. I would like to see a mighty yeet.
We do look like we're about to get the mightiest of yeets. Also, that's one way to play around...
Disturbing Presence, just throw over all of it?
just throw and catch over the entire thing, yeah. Though he is in 1 tackle zone, so it would be a 3+
Oh, wow.
With a built-in reroll.
So difficult. That sounds like... as someone who plays primarily Undead and Nurgle, 3+ with a built-in reroll sounds like heaven.
It sounds like the best you're gonna get, and there goes.
That's the most reliable thing I can do is the 3+ the built-in reroll.
Never a good sign when your first foul is on turn 13.
And you get instantly sent off for a stun. Yeah.
No, it was only turn 12, turn 11 actually. Depression stands alive once more.
That makes me sad. I don't want Depression to stand.
Oh, he's getting back to his touchdown line for style points. I don't think you can actually eat it.
No.
That far.
I mean, Depression is a great player. I don't want to encourage Depression.
Ben encourages Depression, best player. It's a good thing he's got that screen. I'm really worried the Nurgle Warrior could hit him.
Yeah. And I hate this. I really hate this. Like, not from the Nurgle's perspective. Like, I hate this as a Nurgle player. I don't hate what the Nurgle are doing. I just hate that the elves can do this. It's just like, I'm going to put players back there, and I'll let you, like, run back and forth across the field, blitzing one person a turn. Then I'll just leave and go somewhere else. And, you know, whenever I feel like it, I'm just going to yeet it to them, and there's nothing you can do. Enjoy.
The Alamo 3 is dead. Long live Alamo 4. Yeah, it's not really a playstyle you see from Rats for obvious reasons. So it's not one I'm familiar with, really. You kind of tend to actually defend the gutter runners. But,
I've seen a lot of high elf coaches do this.
Well, yeah, because all of your players are at least, movement 6, armor 8, agi 4. So, of course, you can just throw them into the backfield, and anyone is a scoring threat when everyone has agi 4. That's the elf life.
Yeah, and a lot of them have catch built in.
Ooh, 2 injuries in a turn, though. Yayo, racking up a body count.
The other thing is you can pretty safely keep your thrower in the backfield until you have to throw.
Oh, and that's an agi bus, so it's hard out there for a lino right now.
high elves do have safe throw, so it's very difficult for them to like fumble and make it so that your opponent has an easy time scoring. At worst, they're gonna have to blitz it off you anyway.
Which is what they're doing now. I don't know if he tries to score this turn, though. I don't think it really matters that much. Oh, he does. Are you ready for the long bomb, Ben?
So I'm just seeing the blitz now, so you're still really far ahead. It doesn't matter because he has strong arm and accurate. So here you go. There's the mighty yeet. Easy.
It was a 4+ pass.
With a reroll.
Yeah. 75% of the time it works every time.
And it was...
To be fair, 25% of the time you lose the game.
I mean, no, you have safe throw, so...
So he would hold on to it and be standing next to a Nurgle warrior without block.
I mean, that's fair, I suppose.
That was 100% a lose the game on the spot failed throw. Though I guess you on a 3, or would a 2 be an inaccurate pass in that case?
Yes.
Because like an inaccurate pass would be okay-ish. So as long as you didn't roll a 1,
and you have pass, so it's a 1 in 36, right?
Yeah. You probably don't lose the game on the spot. You at worst tie the game on the spot because God knows that the Nurgle aren't going to score from their own end unless it.
Not with 4 turns or a little bit of luck and a little bit of luck.
So decent score despite the mounting body count.
That was such a weird like offense. Like the elves, and there's like 4 elves and like 4 Nurgle players just in the Nurgle backfield playing this stupid dance of blitz each other like like back and forth. Oh, Pack Shootard is dead, but he's just a rotter, so who cares?
He was badly hurt and dead. It's always good when only one of the.
So you're telling me he's badly dead?
He's badly dead. Deadly hurt? I don't know. There's like a lot of ways to take that.
There's this stupid little dance in the backfield between the elves and like the Nurgle.
Ooh, there's injury number 5 to make me correct. Little Bighorn 3 is now fine. It's a hell of a thing when you're putting your strength 4 on the line, I gotta say.
Yeah, well, we're running out of players now, which is why we scored.
Yeah,
but...
I mean, I get it. Oh, doesn't get him down with the oh, Yayo going for the win. I love it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I was gonna say you could have gone for like the 3-die with the Beast of Nurgle or something, but we're just trying to.
We do still have a reroll, so it's not totally hopeless. All right, the Beast has decided to actually be a player.
Yeah, he's just trying.
And is in such a position that you can't. Well, you could red die him with. No, because that would be a triple red die. Actually.
Sure hands.
Hands is a skill.
The Beast is taking away 2 easy, reliable actions right now of the 5 players, so it's pretty good to get him on that in that spot.
Yeah, I mean this looks like it should be a tie, especially given the quad skull
and an injury. Jesus. Oh my god!
Fucking what?
Okay, so now we blitz the thrower and then we like run as far up the field as we can in cage, and then
just leave. Yeah.
Or I mean, punch the thrower and blitz the other guy. Either way.
I guess. Just gotta be careful because there's no there's no block.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I probably would have considered blitzing him, just because there's no elves, so you don't have to maximize blocks anymore.
Oh please, Yayo, stop. Yayo, buddy, stop. Just win the game. Just go win the game. Stop all this fiddling around. You're gonna roll a 1 in 81 if you take that block before you move the ball.
Move the ball.
I'm disowning. Okay, you move the ball.
Okay, good. So that's.
This is sort of a cage. I mean, now it's actually a cage. This looks okay.
For some senses of the word cage.
I don't know why you didn't take these blocks down here, but you know what? I guess it's sidestep, and you could sidestep off.
Yeah, you don't want him to sidestep off the Beast, so that's.
Wow, and then he stump skulls again.
Oh, good lord! Well, that was 6 skulls in a row for that would have been a hexa skull for the elves if they had 3 dice.
Well, no, because there was some injury and armor dice in the meantime. But I'm sorry, was I ruining
You're
the
ruining
fun?
my dream.
You know what I might have done though? Instead of taking that block, I might have dodged the Blodge Warrior off. Gone for that 75%.
I've never hexa skulled, and I really want to.
Because you're kind of in a weird position. Like, you have to YOLO
You
a bit
absolutely
here.
have to potato.
Like, and I think it's because you got too many of your players tied up.
Yeah, I think I would have left the beast on the 2 elves and just said you're never activating again, and then moved everybody else as far forward as possible.
Including I would have gone for the Blodge Warrior dodge.
Yeah,
Like,
oh yeah,
the beast is doing his job.
I would have left the beast on those
And
2
now-
players and then never moved him again.
Now I would still do the dodge here. Again, I would totally have done the dodge
Yeah, it's not an unreasonable dodge. He has dodge.
Yeah. At least give yourself another player, because this is now a free 2-die on the ball. Doesn't get it down. Does on the second go, though.
The Rotter is still in scoring range, so there's a chance. Although the Surehens being...
So is the Mighty Blow Pestigore.
Yeah, but he's marked, which is a little bit more awkward.
Well, the ball's not in scoring range now.
Yeet! Oh, that's disappointing.
It has been yoed.
Goodbye.
It was a 3+ to throw it that far in disturbing presence.
Yep. Oh man, that's unfortunate. That really sucks. But there's ways. I think there's ways that we could have played that second half a little bit better to make that a little more likely. I mean, sometimes it's impossible to stop the elves from doing stuff like that, but I think you could have made it a bit harder than what it was.
It does get to surf on the strength 4. Will the Kaz train continue? It will.
More, but this one is irrelevant.
Well, he's armor broke. He's armor broke.
Oh, he is armor broke. Can we even reach the ball with anybody? I don't think so. No.
There's literally no one who can get on the balls. So
so we're just going to take blocks, try to get some damage, and see what happens. SPP, anyway.
No POWs on those dice. Helm's Deep the second, tying up 3 players for 3 turns.
Sidestep, Blodge Step is good skill. Set of good skills. Good set of skills.
Please stop talking.
I think that's like my job, though.
Oh, the strength guy leveled up on an MVP, and do you know what he got then? Agi. Strength 4, Agi 5, armor
gross.
6.
I don't like it.
He's a good sacker.
Well,
a little
okay,
bit.
That's Yayo and Here We Fall. So let's first of all make a note that this game is not confirmed, or is probably I don't know what is happening here. It's not actually an admin thing, or it's not an admin win or anything as far as I can tell. It's just not confirmed. The Marvelous Creatures
Might have been a legal concede.
Well, that's the Marvelous Creatures and All Stars of Chaos. So I haven't put that game into the spreadsheet for results yet, because I'm not sure what's going on there.
Well, I know we both lose points there, so no problem. Yeah, we try to get everybody. We don't always succeed, but it is an attempt.
Yeah, we try to avoid people that we want to try to get a hold of most people at least once. If we need to tie break between games, we'll prefer the people we haven't watched yet. So we try to get a hold of as many as we can. Let's drop client, because we don't need that anymore.
And go play World of Warships.
I mean, no. What we're going to do
Oh, Superfed is playing Toast Guy right now.
Well, we gotta predict that right now.
21:06. It's only 15 minutes ago.
So we gotta predict Toast. That's a big one. The 2 rat games. 1470 rats versus 1650 rats.
Hold on, let me look.
So rats with inducements versus rats with a 1-turner.
Well, Superfed can't 1-turn. It's not in his contract, so I don't think that's relevant.
That's true. And though he can't, and Tosca can't get a wizard, right? Oh, he can, yeah. Oh, for some reason I read that as 1560, not 1650.
No, he's got way more than a wizard.
This is hard.
Gabool the Wild is a great blitzer for this game.
Yeah.
Superfed does also have a Mighty Blow tackle guy who has a bench. Neither of the teams.
So the team with the inducement has a bench. Superfed has Superfed has the one turner. Toast Guy has a wizard and a big hand gutter runner, which is a really big deal. For this for basically.
And these teams have played before and Fed lost.
I don't know.
And Fed claims he was outplayed for the first time in a long time.
Oh, we have the weird sepia tone again because I did something weird. Hang on a sec. And I feel like the big hand lightning bolt combo is one way to get an advantage. Like if you assume that they can score whenever they want, you can probably stop a score and get one of your own with the lightning bolt big hand.
Yeah, I'll take the
That's what I'm going to do as well. Plus, if we pick Superfed, then he just won't win and we'll be wrong no matter what we do.
Yeah, this is one of those picks, isn't it? All right, Div 1.
For results, yeah. So we had the Rat Bastards, speaking of, Toast Guy and Dazed and Confused, Acropolis. I think we both predicted the Rats here. Oh no, you predicted Dazed and Confused.
Oh, that doesn't seem like something I would do.
Neither do I, but that's what's in there, so...
He did get the shit kicked out of him, which I did think was going to happen. But and he lost a kick.
That's true. I mean, so many injuries, but the Rats did take it 2-1. The Nurgle got nothing in terms of like what happened to them. There was one Kaz, but it looks like it got better. Meanwhile, the Rats suffered 8. 8 Kaz. So Acropolis getting a lot of SPP out of this, at least, which is probably something he's happy about.
Only 7 showing though, so something was happening.
Two levels. One on the Killer Pestigore, meaning he can pick up either piling on or tackle. Probably piling on, given you already have 2 tackle. And the Nurgle Warrior leveling up with Block Guard means you can pick up another Mighty Blow, or you can take Stand Firm, or if you're really lucky, you get Dodge. It would be good there.
Yep, good game for both coaches. Was Acropolis out of playoff contention already? I feel like he might have been.
Well, we can back up and look. I don't think he's out.
He is. No, he is bottom of the table. So yes.
Oh yeah, so you're pretty happy with that, frankly. Just getting like a whole bunch of SPP to pretty important levels. That's certainly not bad. If it ever loads again. There we go. We had the Gourmet Governors and Bogue Bombers. It's Luminous and B-Dog. This one is very important for playoffs, actually. Both of them are in playoff contention right now. So a win for either coach here would have been big. But it turns out they tied. I think I predicted the Bogue Bombers and you predicted Luminous because you're like, I'm tired of not picking Lumi and being wrong or something along those lines.
I did say that, yeah. And then I was still sort of wrong. Well, because we were like, no, this was also no, not picking Lumi and being wrong was last week or the week before. This was the Humans have no team. I think Lumi is probably like I would normally expect Humans to do quite well in this matchup, but Humans with no team should be like run roughshod by Lumi's team. But it looked like a tie is what happened.
They had 2 Blodge Guard blitzers that were MNG'd for this game, so like they're missing quite a lot of defensive power.
Lumi did manage to level his plus movement rookie vamp, so he will have another dodge vampire unless he continues to be a stat freak, which is possible.
Oh yeah, I was going to mention that. Only 2 badly hurts taken on thralls, but that's not there's not that much killy power on these humans with their blitzers being out.
Yeah, they have 1 Mighty Blow tackle, and that's it. And he did get the both casualties, but on 45 blocks, they only got 9 breaks, so it looks like the breaks weren't really flowing for the Humans, though they did get 5 removals on 9 breaks, which is...
Thrower got 2 passes, and then both catchers performed a touchdown, so probably 1 to each.
Yep, looks like a good
level
game
on
good, clean
the support lineman. He's got guard and block fend right now. Then we had Big Chuck and Ragedorf.
Well, there's nothing else to take on him though, so that really sucks.
Yeah, it's not particularly good. You kind of hope for more doubles.
Like, what do you get? What do you hope for a double and get dodge, I guess, but like on a normal, I don't even know what you take.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Wrestle. Take wrestle.
Then we had Ragedorf and Clicheos. I took Clicheos and you took Ragedorf.
God damn it, Ragedorf. Son of a bitch. I heard he got he took an MNG on Insane Dwarf and took a niggle on Dr. Dwarf. Man, this is a hell of a game. 50 blocks for Cliché resulting in 13 breaks into 6 Kaz. Chuck, what the hell?
And Rage Dwarf even sustained 7 Kaz, so a foul or a failed dodge or something on top of that.
Yeah, so sustained 10 removals from... Oh, no, and never mind, only 1 KO. 7 removals on 13 isn't terrible, but when 6 of them are casualties, you kind of scratch your head.
You just run out of players, and then you can't do anything, and then you cry. The good news is most of it is badly hurt, but that's kind of like, it's not exactly good news. It's like, well, at least it wasn't worse. But
0 Kaz for the Dwarfs, while they only got 4 KOs on 10 breaks, means that's a game that didn't really happen.
One level on a rookie beastman from a TD is something that Chuck probably aimed to do once he had the game pretty well under control. But that's another level, which is always good to pick up. Dwarf's got nothing, but that's not surprising.
On those. Would have preferred Boys Will Be Boys, I suspect, as he is also 1 touchdown from leveling, but you can't always get the Warriors in a good position for that. You're like, they're only 1 movement lower than the Beasts. It should be fine, right? That's not how it works. If you start a turn and one of your Warriors isn't based, you're always a little shocked. Anyway, then we have Bull Canoe and Voltrex Vanguard. Another tie. It's a very tie-y.
Yeah, not a whole lot of points to go around this week. I predicted Bull Canoe, and you predicted Bull Canoe.
And Bull Canoe didn't do it. 39 blocks to 20, resulting in 27 armor breaks. On 30 armor breaks sustained, Remeset only took 8 removals.
I mean,
that's some magic.
Yeah, that's sort of what we expected to happen, is that Mongoose would just beat Remeset to death, but Remeset didn't, they didn't convert into actual removals, but there's a lot of punching.
Yeah, I was gonna say, in no world do I expect 30 breaks to result in 8 removals. But yes, I understand.
No, that's what we expected to happen, was that Mongoose would beat up Remeset, and that's why we predicted him. But unfortunately for Mongoose, or fortunately for Remeset, they didn't become actual removals.
Oh, good MVP levels Silver Sword, though, the rookie blocker. So he now only has 1 rookie blocker, which is, certainly an improvement on this team. It's been a little tall for a while.
Yeah, he needs that. An
extra guard or an extra mighty blow or even an extra claw is not really anything to be too sad about. And Remeset lost nothing of value. He only took badly hurts, and the worst was on a lino. Everything was a loner other than the
nothing of value was lost.
Was fine. Nothing of value was lost for either team other than their
2 completed passes for the thrower, 1 touchdown for the catcher. On his way to legend, but still pretty far away.
We called this next one for Stouticus, right? Grungy Desserts versus Beard Death.
I called it for Stouticus.
Did I actually say Larkstar would win a game?
You also called it for Stouticus. No, we both called this one for Stouticus. I mean, it's a massive Nurgle team versus a not as massive Norse team.
Oh, good. Larkstar isn't in chat, so I don't have to feel bad about that, Rip.
51 blocks from Grungy Desserts, 44 from Beard to Death, 20 armor breaks, 12. Like, that, not unsurprising with how much mighty blows on both sides and the armor differential. That became 5 Kaz and 4 KOs for the Norse, and the Nurgle took 0 Kaz.
Yeah,
like
I expected the Norse to kind of keep up in blocks. It's just like, it's impossible to. You're trying to beat Nurgle and an attrition bash off, and like, it's just really hard.
They're gonna have similar amounts of blocks, but the Nurgle have higher armor and regen, and you have low armor and not as much mighty blow.
So it must be noted, Blackstar got 0 Kaz.
Yeah, little unexpected.
There's only 12 breaks. Like, 12 breaks into 0 Kaz is unlucky, certainly, but you wouldn't have expected a few Kaz there to really seal the deal anyway, given that you took 20 and got kind of like seriously cast into the ground. So let's see if he lost anything of value. Niggle on the Agi block guard Lino sucks, and MNG on the other guard means he's down 2 guard for next game, but that's it. So nothing catastrophic, though Jaw Bristle Jim is now a little glass jaw.
Tart-shaped box picks up the MVP in levels, which is really nice for Grungy Desserts, given that he has no leveled Pestigors and no actual ball carrier. So that's...
He has 2 leveled Pestigors. Are you high?
When I say no, 2 of 4 is none, considering the team is like 25 million.
How many level pesticores do you have? You have negative level pesticores.
Yes, that's probably how I would describe my team. But so it's really good to pick up that level. And he's actually reasonably close to having 2 Legend Nurgle Warriors. He's 15 SPP away on a killer, which is like a couple really good games. I think we might see 2 Legend Warriors in this team by the end of the season.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, how I expected that game to go. It would have been interesting to watch this one. It looks like it was a total bash fest into a 2-1 grind, but like,
so it looks like it's a total bash fest.
It was kind of interesting because it was 2 like 16 bench teams just like squaring off in this like ridiculous throwdown. So
the fact that both touchdowns to the Nurgle were scored on pestigores that had no SPP implies to me that it was like very much in Stouticus's control for him to be able to do that easily.
Well, who else was he going to carry on, right?
The movement, like 8 pestigore with block.
I guess. He's busy surfing, bros.
I suppose. And then getting counter-surfed by the Frenzy and the Norse.
And then we have Scooby and the Gang versus Broken Bone Battalion. I feel like I called this one for Travel Scrabble, and Travel Scrabble proved once again that you cannot count on him versus...
you certainly did.
What did you call? Excellent.
We can be wrong together.
Sweet. Going down.
Sugar, we're going down swinging.
You know, that's exactly what I was thinking of, which I think dates us and also makes us embarrassed.
I don't actually know the lyrics to that song. I just know the vague sounds that the singer sort of makes. Like,
well, that's that band, right?
It's Fall Out Boy, right?
Is it Fall Out Boy? I thought it was that other one that had really ridiculous titles.
Panic at the Disco?
Yes.
No, I think it's Fall Out Boy. I think it's the weird music video where
it is in fact.
Isn't it the music video where the kid has there's like a kid with antlers or whatever?
Oh, maybe. Anyway, it's terrible and definitely a relic that should stay in the early 2000s.
Yeah. Scooby and the Gang got 51 blocks to Broken Bone Battalion's 21. The 51 turned into 22 armor breaks, which converted to 7 CAS and 5 KOs.
Oh, mid 2000s. Oof. 2005. What a year.
So Scooby and the Gang certainly beat the Broken Bone Battalion.
The ever living tar, yeah.
Well, they're living up to their name, certainly. Not a whole lot of injuries in return. 2 CAS, but 1 got better.
Oof, so did you see what they agi busted?
The plus strength thrower. Ugh.
Oof.
Well, he's a blitzer dead now.
No, he ain't. He dead. I mean, no, I think I'd fire him. I think I'd fire Blake the Bomber.
I mean, maybe he's like an Agi-3 ball carrier for elves is not that great, but he has the strength, which is useful. But yeah, it's I don't know. I don't play elves enough to know whether that's worth keeping.
You're like strength, the pitch presence on my pro.
No, that's what like my mind immediately goes to, and I'm like, wait, they're elves. They probably don't care very much, but that's not how I think.
You do like a plus strength guy is really nice because you can just throw him into a place that he would normally get give away a free 2-die or a 1-die, and you're like, okay, well now he requires more commitment from bash coaches to clear their way through, and forcing bash coaches to overcommit and leave their ball open is exactly how you win every game. So, like,
well, yeah. The good news is you have several games to decide whether you're going to do that because he's out for at least the next one. The bad news is so many players are out for the next one that you're going into it with 4 players, which is less than ideal. And one of them is just a rookie lineman. We picked up a level on Captain Cutler, the zombie, the dirty player zombie. So I mean, I guess he just takes wrestle. But I'm unsure of what happened here. Like, unless all of those injuries came at the end once the game was already over, I can't imagine how Travel Scrabble didn't stop one of those scores with that many removals.
I'm a bit surprised. Level's a dirty player in a fit of extreme sadness. Minor 49er getting 3 CAS, Wesley Pipes getting 2, Mighty Blow doing a thing, the Muttley Jr. Wolf doing absolutely nothing.
He completed a pass.
No, that's Muttley 3.
I see.
Not Muttley Jr.
You are right.
Imbecile. So yeah, not an expected result, but maybe some shenanigans afoot. Who knows? There was an expulsion. The elves were fouling, which tells you what kind of game it
Quick,
was.
get my players off the field.
A wolf hit the ground, and I'm guessing it got a boot.
Well, there's two options. Either a wolf was on the ground and it got a boot because you take advantage of that, or you're like, quick, try to save my players from getting killed, foul, get them off the field. And lastly, we had a game we almost watched, Superfed and Not for Science, fell with Quadadal and Dreams of Golden Streams. We both predicted the High Elves because we assumed that Lord Nathaniel Marr would do a lot of things, and he didn't.
No. Proxy Page did some things. I got 2
I would like to point out that this game had 8 touchdowns, and 0 of them came from a one-turner, and there's a one-turner on both teams, just so everybody's aware.
There were 4 completed passes from Fen and Rowe, though. He's just trying desperately to get.
There's also 4 from Marley Brinks, the gutter runner. This is a weird game.
It is a weird game. Carter Cruz levels from the MVP. Amy Brooke levels from 2 TDs on the Claw Mighty Blow Blitzer to get piling on, I assume. Unless she rolls doubles for, I think you'd take horns with no piling on. I'd consider jump up otherwise. We had this happened in our clan team where we were talking about whether or not you take horns or jump up on that double.
That's fair.
I really like horns.
Horns is a really good skill. And then, Carter Cruz also levels. Injuries on irrelevant line rats is a thing. And the other touchdowns came from from Megan Rain, and then one from Eden Sin. Dead linemen, movement busted linemen, niggled linemen. Not for Science is used to having red numbers on his team. It's probably fine. Although, the one thing that surprises me is that Lord Nathaniel Marr did not do more than just the one Kaz. Like, I assumed he would be able to chase down some things, but he
might have gotten KO'd and then never came back.
Yeah, I wasn't able to get anything done, unfortunately. But maybe that if he had done more, that it would have been a bit closer than it was. But that's the result. If we go back to the leaderboard, that puts Superfed back in his position of a game ahead or a win ahead of the second place. If he didn't win that, he'd still be like easily in first.
Have we watched the humans yet?
I don't know. I don't think. Maybe
we've got to watch a B-Dog game. Like, dude's in second, like solidly in second place in Div 1 with humans, and tied Lumi with no.
Well, assuming the game next week isn't a total blowout, maybe we will. Yes, Superfed wouldn't be a win ahead if he didn't win that, but he did, so now he is a win ahead. B-Dog is the other contender for first place if Superfed loses a game. Your other playoff contenders are now Toast Guy, Big Chuck, and Stouticus, all easily switchable. Luminous just outside, but only down on touchdown differential. Super Base also a win away from second place. Like, it's a
win away.
Yeah, it's the top 7 are all really close here. Mongoose, Ramaset, Unseen Walker, still pretty reasonable to pop up in a playoffs if the people up there start losing. Unfortunately, Travel Scrabble, Larkstar, and Acropolis are probably looking at trying to get some SPP out of the season more than a playoff spot. So let's do some predictions. We've already done James of Golden Streams and Superfed. We have an elf off between Super Base and Not for Science. 1500 Pro Elves versus 1950 High Elves.
I like the High Elves, I think.
I mean, it's a lot of elf.
All right, you mull that over while I get a new beer.
That's fair. I mean, okay. So there's a one-turner, which is a thing that matters. Pro Elves have good amount of tackle, a lot of blodge that is going to be annoying. They have strip ball, and they get a bunch of inducements. 1 tackle, 2 tackle. Agi 3. There's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And Tanari doesn't get to be sheltered. I'm gonna be a little bit spicy, and I will take the Pro Elves. Because I think the inducement game is going to make a difference here. Like a wizard. It's going to be really nice. lot of blodge. There's 2 tackle for the elves, but one of them is Agi 3, so he's going to have a harder time getting to important players. It's a little bit of spice, but that's okay. Have to wait for Shadorra to return with his beer now. Beard to Death and Travel Scrabble is an interesting one. They're only 70k off each other in TV. Beard to Death, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 players. So bench of 2. Missing 2 guard, which is a pretty big deal. Because they are only going to have the 2 on movement 5 and 6 players to try and keep themselves safe from the guard of Travel Scrabble, or the attack of Travel Scrabble. Strength 4, Wolf is going to get work done. Agi 5, Werewolf is always a nightmare. He has movement 7 now, which is a lot less good, but still very useful. He doesn't get a wizard, which is certainly annoying for his game plan. I think he'll be able to do things. I don't know. This is really hard. I don't know how to predict this one. So I think we rely on the crutch of standings a little bit here, and we'll just go with. Oh man, they're both near the bottom too. Never mind. I was going to look at standings and go with whoever is higher, but they're both exactly tied. So this is difficult. Travel Scrabble is actually 1760, so the Norse gets 60k, which is just a babe, which is something. For Mighty Blow, a lot of tackle. I don't know. I'm going to predict something, and then we'll wait to hear what Shadorra has to say.
I'm back.
What do you think?
It's too hot. I didn't want to come back.
What do you think about Beard to Death versus Scooby and the gang?
I
think it's really hard.
I think Norse normally do pretty well in this matchup.
But they're
I think Travel Scrabble has a better bet there.
Not a lot better, but a little better. I mean, yeah, that's what I ended up doing, and I think because the Norse are missing 2 players, one of them, both of them being guard, puts them only at 12 players, so their big bench is kind of gone. They do have a lot of like Mighty Blow and tackle and stuff still, which is gonna hurt Scooby and the gang, but the werewolves are gonna be annoying to deal with still. And they're not gonna have a whole lot of they're out guarded by the Necro, which is kind of weird for Norse position for Norse to be in.
And then we have Mongooses Loose versus Stoutacus. So
yep.
Smaller dwarfs versus big Nurgle. I feel like that goes to the Nurgle.
I mean, yeah, generally the Chorfs are very killy, which certainly helps quite a bit against the Nurgle thing. The problem is the Nurgle have enough guard to sort of punish they're not going to be inconvenienced that much by the Chorf blocker wall.
And an enormous bench. Sure, maybe they can remove some positionals, but most of the time they can't. And
the annoying part in this matchup for Nurgle at mid TVs is that your opponent almost always has 5 or 6 guard on all the Chorf blockers, and then you have a really hard time pushing through that without a similar amount, and it's really hard to get that amount. But once you get to high TVs, you have enough, and you also have enough removal power by that point as well to help counteract it. And Grungy Desert certainly has both of those. He's got 4 guard and a 2 and a plus strength Nurgle warrior. 5 guard actually, but in mid TVs this is a lot more Chorf favored. At high TVs it's more Nurgle favored. Clicheos versus the Voltrex of Vanguard, Big Chuck and Ramaset. 1950 Chaos versus 1540 High Elves. I'm
gonna go with my boy Rama. Chuck can't beat elves. It's just Agi, period. Actually,
I feel like that's a fair assessment. He's got 2 tackle, but one of them is on a warrior. So it's going to be difficult to knock down players that matter.
Oh, good. Chuck was here to to hear that. Good luck. May your Kaz dice be kind.
Yeah, good luck. Plus, the elves get a whole bunch of inducements, which certainly is annoying.
I mean, I think that's Wizard and Eldril, and that's really hard to play against as Chaos.
I agree. I mean, unless you get lucky on the removals, and there's not that much removal potential. I mean, there's some, but there's only 2 Mighty Blow.
Or the elves fails things, you know, like there's always the option.
That's true, but it's not likely. They're elves. Oh, okay. So I think this is the game we watch next week, right? We watch Ragedorf and B-Dog.
Ragedorf is in such a bad place with his team right now.
The nice thing for B-Dog is that he has his players back, and Ragedorf is missing one of his Troll Slayers, and it's the Strength 5 one, right? So that's pretty reasonable.
Which means there's no inducements, though.
70.
Only
yeah,
70.
I mean, that's not nothing, but it's not much either.
Will all of these armor-busted dwarves be the death of a team against Mighty Blow spam? It's actually not Mighty Blow spam. There's only 2 Mighty Blow on this team. Or 3, I guess, with the Fudge.
Fudge is my favorite. I love his name. I love Fudge. There's the 2, so we only have 3 blitzers because one of them is gone, but the movement 9, the 2 catchers are going to be really annoying for Ragedorf if he can keep them safe and then get them around the dwarves, because the dwarves have no way of catching up to that other than the one runner.
He could buy a new blitzer, and I would strongly consider it. That would put you that would give you a bench. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, you'd have a bench, which would be really nice against this. It would eat into your inducements, of course. It would mean you don't get anything, but I think I'd rather a rookie blitzer than a babe.
I think so. This is kind of weird. Like, it's going to come down to a couple critical turns, I think, right? The catchers are going to be really hard for Ragedorf to deal with, but only if B-Dog plays with them well, because they're very likely to just go down to tackle Mighty Blow from a million dwarves. But if they can get out of range of things, then the dwarves are going to have a hard time with that.
Yeah, I mean, like, the key is going to be outmaneuvering the dwarves and certainly not outbashing them. Like, you have enough guard to do some tactical hits. You've got 4, but at the end of the day, the dwarves are going to totally swarm you, and the dwarves want you to get into a 100%. Scrum, right? If they can pull half the human team into a scrum, like I just played humans with the bash team this week in clan, the goal is to pull them into a scrum and like get them punching, because in the long run, you win that punch fest. Even if they're doing nearly as much punching as you are, you're going to get a turn where, you know, your armor 9 and your Mighty Blow just starts like blasting them, right? Or they like roll a bunch of failed stuff and you get a bunch of hits back. Like, you don't give up hits. You don't like misposition, you don't overcommit, but you do force them. You like force them to, you know, commit 2 players to hit one of yours, and then suddenly you've got like more players based up against theirs, and it just like cascades from there until they run out of players. But you have to just kind of respect their speed and make sure that you leave enough players back that you can deal with, you know, someone YOLOing on the other side or them switching sides.
Well, and the Ragedorf has the 2 runners. One of them is movement 7, ag 4, block, dodge, tackle, which is pretty good, considering the catchers are strength 2. And then there's also the one at the bottom who is wrestle, tackle, strip ball. He's only movement 6, but that is a 2-die wrestle, tackle, strip on any of the catchers to try to run around that stay in range, which is certainly a pretty good hit on those catchers. So I don't know. This is really hard to predict. I think
I like Ragedorf, but he's been on a bad run, so I feel shaky.
Well, I'm taking Ragedorf because he has been on a bad run, and I think he's going to recover from it. And I believe in Unseen Walker.
In his power to dwarf.
He deserves a good game after what's happened to him recently. Like, you know, the law of averages suggests that he'll probably have something normal.
And then I think Gloomy beats Acropolis.
There's a terrible way of looking at this, but that's the way I will look at it. Do you? I think probably, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Prediction.
Yeah, the Pestigors are what's kind of real important there. And there isn't a whole lot in terms of Pestigor development. I mean, there's 3.
Oh, he did take tackle, by the way, and not piling on.
There you go.
So now he has because he wanted, I think, a Mighty Blow tackle claw piece for the vamps. Yeah, because all the vamps have dodge. So Lumi took the level I expected. He did not take the level I expected, and certainly not the level I would expect like kind of greedy Nurgle coaches to take.
I mean, it depends. If you're playing to win the next game, you take tackle. If you're playing to like, to start developing for the season, I think it's the other way around.
Yeah, and I think given his stance, I would have probably taken piling on, like his place in the standings, spread that is. But anyway, that's Div 1 done. So now we're moving on.
I'm
to
not
Div
100% convinced that Lumi will take that, but I think.
Fine, pick Acropolis. Do it. Don't be a bitch.
I don't want to.
Okay. Well,
if I saw those two teams and I didn't know Luminous was coaching the Vampires, I probably wouldn't take them. But Luminous is just very good at them.
We took this predictions then.
What? No, we predicted differently in some places, right?
Wait, hold on. Oh, I definitely just wrote on the template instead of mine. I will. There's nothing bad will happen if I cut those out, right?
No.
Okay, good. I was like, this isn't my sheet.
It just means that if anybody new copies it, they won't be able to predict week 8 very well. But it doesn't matter because week 8 is over anyway.
I'll just copy it instead, and then delete.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so then 2A.
2A.
So Marvelous Creatures and Locust Cosecant, it's not updated yet because the game hasn't been confirmed in client, and I don't know why. So we'll leave it at that. It could be some weird shenanigans that have to be admin fixed or something, but in any case, we don't really know the result, so I can't really say anything reasonable about it. So I won't bother. Bring Out Your Undead versus the Horn of Gorthank. We both predicted Bring Out Your Undead, and the Horn of Gorthank won this. We did check this game in game. I'm unsure what occurred here.
Oh, it was a DC.
Oh, I see.
Ran disconnected and lost.
Okay, so we were thinking about watching this because we had predicted the Khemri and we hadn't watched either of these coaches yet, so that was another reason to. I clicked through it really quickly to see what was going on because I saw concede in client when we were looking at it. But pretty much it was 0-0 on turn 14. The Chaos had the ball like in relatively easy scoring position, and the Khemri had 4 players on the pitch. So like the Chaos were going to win it, and then Rand disconnected, and so it ended up conceding to I Shoot Blanks, and they didn't bother fixing it because he was going to win anyway, barring like a million ones in a row. From what I could tell from looking at the game.
So we don't talk about that game then. Instead, we'll talk about Marvelous Creatures and then just move on.
We do see that there's a bunch of like removals and stuff, but it's kind of hard to a lot of them are KOs and stuff, and it's kind of hard to talk about it. So we can no real levels, so we'll just move on.
Oh, and we can't talk about Marvelous Creatures, but yeah, this was a 2-0 win for Locust, and it did get played. It doesn't seem to be conceded. So that's games down. Then we have CR Boys, Nashville Nasty, and Talk Show Terror. 2-0 win for Our Name is Legion. I believe we both thought CR Boys.
Ramtut died, so that's fun. Let's see. I took Talk Show Terror.
Oh, you did?
So did you.
Wait, yep. I did? Oh. I swore I took CR Boys, but I guess I didn't.
I mean, unless someone edited the sheet or something.
Oh, no. Because Talk Show Terror was the bigger one by far. Yeah, I'm being silly. No, okay.
Ramtut induced for CR Boys, and he died.
Not a lot of blocks this game. 27-33 is really low for teams that have frenzy pieces.
Yeah, that's weird.
7 and 9 breaks. On 9 breaks rather, Talk Show Terror got 6 KOs and 2 KAs. A nearly 100% removal rate compared to 1 removal for the CR Boys, and it didn't get better. So they did get 1 removal.
On a zombie.
But that tells you what happened there. Some bad KO rolls, and that's not even a game.
Yeah, Ramtut was induced, which is cool because you don't see him very often, but he also died, which is not cool because you don't see him very often. Both touchdowns going to the younger, that's not the lower skilled werewolf. I don't know where that came from. The younger werewolf, the lower level werewolf, to get him 7 SPP, so he's 1 touchdown away from leveling, which is pretty nice. MVP on the big white is, it's something, but it's better than it going to a zombie, but there were better targets for that. And then any MVP on a loner zombie, certainly annoying. And we leveled the kick wrestle zombie, which is also annoying because he managed to get a completed pass. Wait, so that was on purpose. What do you take on the kick wrestle zombie? Fend? No, because on defense you're using him to kick. Tackle for offensive purposes, so you have wrestle tackle maybe? I don't know what you take there. I want to know what he took because he leveled him on purpose. He hasn't leveled him yet, so I don't know.
You did this. I wonder if he did it.
You did this on purpose. You increased the TV of your kick player by 20k, and I'm not sure why. There must have been a reason. 1 Kaz from the strength tackle zombie. This is a team of zombies. And 1 completed pass from the Agi White.
And then we have a rather weird game. Uber the Nuber winning 4-0 against
this game was still under or in progress when we were starting the review, so it was pretty late. We both predicted Slade because we thought he would just beat the Rats to death.
Because the Rats didn't have a team.
No, they did not. They
induced Flem and Glart, so they got a blitzer and a gutter runner.
They had 4. They had 4 gutter runners and 1 blitzer. Was they're literally the whole team for this.
Uber did manage to level a rookie gutter runner, and managed not to lose any others. Took a ton of line rat Kaz, armor bust on a dirty player, movement bust on a rookie, niggle on a rookie, dead on a kicker. Dead on the kicker.
We care about that one.
51 blocks to 13, so Chorf's getting the blocks you'd expect against Rats. Harder for them to disengage. 22 breaks, which resulted in 11 removals. Fairly average. A little bit low.
I mean, what I imagine happened here is the Rats really don't want to be on offense in this matchup. They're just going to get annihilated if they try to walk forward slowly or anything. So there's probably a hell of a lot of 2 turns whenever they had the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, there was 1 score on the 1 turner, so I think he did 1 turn at some point. But the rest, he scored once on every single gutter runner. So I think it was just a lot of okay, I've taken your ball with the wizard, and I score. I 2 turn. In response, and I think Slade just never quite managed to get the ball into position.
Yeah, so the Rats do have the wrestle strip, and the Slade didn't have any sure hands or anything, so it'd be pretty easy to take the ball off them. But I feel that it would be very sort of tempo-y in that Slade probably could have won this if things didn't go bad early, but things probably went bad early, so they probably just went well, I'm already 2-0 down. There's no way I'm going to win this. Let's just see if I can kill Rats and get SPP and not care about winning. That's entirely something that might have happened.
Well, they did. They got 5 blocker Kaz, and they got a Kaz on the moon, bringing him a little closer to level 4. Which, he might finally get blocked.
Yeah, so it's hard to know what happened here, but I feel like there may have been a little bit of well, I can't win this anymore attitude from Slade. But that's just a random guess. I don't know anything about what actually happened, but that when you're down that much against Rats, that's something that a bash coach probably would do. So I'm not terribly surprised.
And then we have Yield Guard. Yeah, we watched this one, right? But he did level the Mighty Blow Pestigore, which we didn't notice, so that's a not terrible thing for Yayo, at least, as he did manage level for block or claw, depending on your pick. Excuse me, midseas. And yeah, as we saw, he brutalized the elves. Anyway, next
Atomics
match.
And Kilrick. This one matters quite a bit for playoff standings as well, as we'll see in a minute. Both of them are... both of them are really close to each other in the standings, so whoever won this would have jumped ahead of one of their closest competitors, and then they tied, so they get to remain close.
Yeah. The Rowdy Rebel Rousers out-blocking the Battle Brothers immensely, though Fend is probably partially responsible for that. Getting 20 breaks into 7 removals, so pretty low, and then Caloric only getting 5 breaks on 41 blocks, also very low, of course, into only 2 removals, so even low for 5 breaks. So not really a removal game, but it does look like Atomics managed to make things tough enough for Caloric that he couldn't score. One of the removals was on the Disciple of Davkol.
Just a badly hurt.
The kind of thrower blitzer. And then there was a dead-induced wrestle guard blocker. I joked that this was Caloric baiting out his tendency to have dead blockers, but apparently Houndmaster Hobart also died, and the Apo saved him. So Caloric can't get anywhere. I survived season 13, takes a movement bust, and gets the MVP for a level.
Whatever. He's a line peasant now. You can give him block or wrestle to just be annoying on the LOS, and he'll die someday, but you don't really care because he's going to be stuck on the LOS for so much of the game anyway. Once you put him there, it's not like peasants dodge away or anything once they're marked up. So
the movement matters a little bit.
Well, if he was movement busted and not leveled, I mean, I would probably just fire him. But movement busted and leveled means you can give him wrestle and then just stick him on the LOS or something, and he's annoying at least.
Yep. And then finally we had the Lackland Long Tongues versus Orcsploitation Cinema. I believe I picked Urs.
I predicted Urs, and you predicted Urs.
Excellent. So I win. But Urs strength busted one of his only good Saurus, so that guy's dead. Unfortunately, and MNG on a block Saurus means Urs is down 2 Saurus for his next game. Just a badly hurt on his movement skink, so nothing bad there. His
Crocs got badly hurt too.
Super skink. Yeah, Crocs got badly hurt but got better. And the Orcs lost their dirty player, and that's it. So the Lizards got the crap kicked out of them, which you'd kind of expect in this matchup. They had 3 Mighty Blow and only got 4 breaks, which speaks to the Orcs being utterly invulnerable for no reason, which is, classic Orcs. They're either invulnerable or they have armor 7. On 15 breaks, the Orcs got 8 removals. Pretty good, but they've got a good amount of Mighty Blow, so it's not like...
I was gonna say, 3 or 2 Saurus or 3 armor 9 removals in the Croxagore and the 2 Saurus from the Orcs is a little bit surprising, but it's not when there's like 57 blocks, so...
Yeah, it's piling on. There's a lot of
No, just like players. My initial reaction was like, wow, like a lot of armor 9 guys got hurt when there's no claw around, but there was a lot of punching, so it's not unreasonable.
Yep. And that is 2A, so we'll do let's look at the
Black Orc picked up a level, which is nice.
It is nice. Especially that one picking up a level for Mighty Blow or Stand Firm. Probably Mighty Blow.
So the leaderboard now it keeps defaulting me to 2B, which is a nice feature because that's the division I'm in. So like it's nice that the website is doing that, but that's not what I want right now. So this is what 2A looks like. Urs actually out in the lead now of 2A with that win and Slade's loss.
So Locust is actually at 12 though. So Locust is up ahead of Atomics. Because this isn't updated yet. So Soul is where he is. Well, he's 1 lower, but Locust jumps actually from 8th to 6th. So a big win for him there to keep him in playoff contention.
The biggest things was Slade losing and Urs winning puts Urs in 1st, and Slade drops down from 1st to 3rd. But like first, 2nd, 3rd, 4th are all separated by 1 point. 16, 15, 14, 13. So the top... you gotta win. A draw is not good enough to remain in the playoffs right now. So it's pretty tight in 2A currently. Kaelric is also on 13.
And 2B is tight too. Stacy with Skirgle coming in at 7 wins, no losses.
I
followed by Colin and Mackie.
I don't understand how I have a reasonable chance to like move up close to playoffs with how garbage my team is.
You're just too good.
That's not true. Where were we? Kaelric, Atomics, and Locust are all, and Soul of Dragon's Fire are all 1 win away from jumping into the Challengers Cup, so they're pretty reasonable. Things get a bit harder for Locust, Rand, and Shooty. Then I Shoot Blanks, CAO, Legion, and Sierra Boys are not really in the hunt anymore. Poor Sierra Boys is not having the greatest season right now. And then
no, his team is kind of brutalized. So
Soul of Dragon's Fire versus Kaelric. This one is kind of hard because we don't know what Soul of Dragon's Fire's team looks like.
I'm gonna go look at his team because it's in client, and I do know that he took a lot of Kaz. Like Locust pitch cleared him, as far as I understand it. So
okay, well, I'll let you inspect that and report back.
Do it.
I don't want to open client again. This is a pretty big one next week as well. Solo Dragon's Fire being on 10 and Kelric being on 13. So a win for either of them catapults them pretty far into the top 4. So it's a big deal winning this one.
Every single time I launch Blood Bowl, I forget about the fucking menu that asks you whether you want to play Blood Bowl or Zone, and then I sit there for 5 minutes like a fucking idiot.
Why isn't it loading? It's being really slow today. Goddamn Cyanide can't code anything. Oh, right. It's
I mean, I still firmly believe that statement, but it's not technically their fault in this case.
That's fair.
The fact that games keep awarding double gold and SPP is definitely their fault. So.
And the Fend like double counting and ugh.
I mean, those are amusing, right? Those don't cause admin headaches. So we had to turn the Rookie League into manual confirmation only.
It's a pain, yeah.
Pain.
One of my favorites was the really old game breaking ones, like the Wizard Bug, where you could steal your opponent's turn. Like that was kind of funny.
Yeah, and it's like entirely because of the way they coded the Wizard, because the Wizard, strictly speaking, happens between turns.
Yeah, and what it would their code was when you press Wizard end turn, like it's a turnover, and the client, it doesn't say end the turn of the person who used the Wizard, it just said end the turn. And the client and server timers are not the same. Like the time, which is why sometimes you see stuff like the timer gets stuck for a second, or like the turn ends faster or slower than you think, because the time that is displayed on screen and the time that the game thinks it is are 2 different times. So if you waited to the very last second and were lucky and hit your Wizard, the game on the server side, it would be the opponent's turn, but it would count you as using the Wizard, and then they were like, oh, Wizard used, turn is over, and then they would just lose their turn. Like, it's the stupidest thing. There's also a touchdown foul bug, which was a little amusing as well.
Although I can't actually you got a free foul, right?
Yeah, if you could foul and
the game isn't confirmed in client, so I can't actually see
well, do we want to hold off on the actual live prediction of this one?
Nah, fuck it. Let's just do it.
Okay.
I mean, fine. Let's hold fine.
We will not predict this one live, but we'll put it into the sheet once that gets confirmed.
It's a big game. Soul Dragon is pretty up there, and obviously Kelric is as well. And injuries really could dictate that. And we don't have Locust or Soul around to confirm.
Yeah, so we'll predict that on our own in the prediction competition sheet later, but we won't do it. We won't do it live.
Oh, actually, I closed the client, but I totally could object because I'm an admin.
Oh, well, whatever. In REBBL? In REL?
Yeah, I'm an admin everywhere. I'm a big boy. Let's do Here We Fall and Exploitation Cinema, and I'll check.
Here We Fall is 1560, and Exploitation Cinema is 1810. So the Here We Fall is going to get some inducements. They're missing that Agi strength guy that they picked up in the last game. So that's certainly annoying. What I think the big thing that we need to check here is how much tackle do the orcs have, and the answer is 2, and one of it is on a black orc.
Yeah,
you like what? Sorry, you're cutting out a bit, but I think it might be my Discord being weird again.
No, I think it's because Blood Bowl, even launching Blood Bowl, takes an unreasonable amount of resources, so my computer is complaining. Even though it's Blood Bowl and it's just launching into the menu.
Yes, I think I agree with you. I mean, the orcs have a lot of tools. They've got a lot of guard, and that's going to be annoying. 1 tackle though means that if Here We Fall plays very screeny, it's going to be difficult for them to get through that screen. And Here We Fall has enough inducements to get like a Wizard and a bit of a bench potentially, which is going to be annoying. And then on offense, we've got that thrower to do some nonsense. So I think I'll agree with you there.
So groin strain is an MNG. And gouged eye is an MNG. So he's down Captain a Meerkat, and he's down Nick Furry.
So it's updated in REBBL.net then, because that's what REBBL.net shows.
Okay. I guess so. It hasn't been confirmed in client, though.
Major Byte Magic.
I guess so. But also, it doesn't show the game on there, so it's kind of weird magic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's two Witch Elves and 3 Blitzers for the Elves. They do have their Mighty Blow Tackle Blitzer, and they have their Agi 6 Blitzer, which is a big deal. There's the 2 Tackle, one with Mighty Blow, or both with Mighty Blow for Kael'ric, which is also useful.
But that does mean they're down one of their Blodge Step diving tackle pieces, which is a big deal, of course.
Puts them at 1 Blodge Step diving tackle. Instead, it leaves them with 1 Blodge Step diving tackle.
So they're down. They're at 1850 now, but they're actually down 180k. So they're actually at 1730, I think, with no bench.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So wouldn't they get 1 line O then if they have to?
They will.
So 1800.
But, wait, does Marcus Breakers actually show it right? Oh, it does show it right, but their TV is wrong. I think. Oh no, because they got. Never mind. The one in REBBL.net is .net.
Then 1920.
So yeah, it's 1920 versus 1840. So the Battle Brothers are going to get 90 because they're 10k over. But so they can get a dirty player, or they can get a Bri Brother for the dirty player. Probably is a good bet
considering
there.
There's no bench and so many valuable players.
Yeah, and your best bet is really removing them. I don't know. This is going to be a hard one for Keller.
I think so too. Like those Blitzers and those Witch Elves are just going to be so annoying. Like there's so much blodge, and there's only the 2 the 2 tackle that has to do a lot of work. And if
there's 3, but
the 3 tackle has to do a lot of work.
Almost all the Blitzers. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's going to be standard Bretonnian game that the Blitzers have to do everything.
Yes, indeed. I wouldn't be surprised to see Soul take this. This is going to be kind of a toss-up.
I agree. I would be pretty happy with either as a prediction.
I'm going to take
Cal. That's what I did as well.
Okay,
also
that's fine. Sometimes it happens.
Where were we? So we were on Urs and Uber the Uber.
Yeah, Urs and this is a big game. Uber versus Urs.
So Uber is missing 3 line rats, but Urs is missing 2 Saurus.
Rats win.
I mean,
let's get no inducements. Rats have a Claw Mighty Blow pilot.
It's it feels bad to say that because it had like Urs is literally winning the division. This has nothing to do with Lizard the Urs's skill as a coach. It's entirely down to Lizards don't really want to play against rats, and especially not rats that have a claw palm and like wrestle strip ball tackle gutter runners to like go after their skinks very easily, and they don't have 2 of their Saurus. It's not great for the Lizards.
No, it's not. They do have 4 guards still, which is nice. They could buy a Saurus. They could go in with a rookie Saurus.
The problem is they're never going to be safe. Like the ball is never going to be safe on a strength 2 ball carrier against wrestle tackle strip ball. The only way that they can make it safe is by like cage corner guarding with Sauruses, and that's so slow. And
but even then,
that's the closest they can get to safe, and it's very slow. And then the rats are just going to claw palm whatever Saurus isn't in the cage, and then you lose anyway.
You double screen, or I mean, a tight screen or a tight cage is still a 5+ for a gutter runner. Like it's not easy. So like a tight cage isn't bad. Like 55% of the time it doesn't work, and even then you're going into a red die with guard. So, or 45% of the time I should say it doesn't work. And then you're going into a red die where there's still some chance of failure. So it's still a risky move, but yeah, like sometimes they're just going to throw that anyway. I think you do take the rookie Saurus because it's only 20k more inducements, and you're already at parity. Like you're not going to get anything out of your inducements, and it doesn't give the rats the opportunity to scum anything. So I would take a rookie Saurus over a loner skink any day.
Wait, like you did, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like you'd fire a Saurus and buy one, or you'd induce one with scum money?
Oh yeah, I'd fire the strength busted.
Oh, there's a strength busted one. Yeah.
You're not gonna keep the strength.
No, I didn't notice he was strength busted for some reason. Yeah, that makes sense. So like you can keep it safe a little bit, like you said. That's probably the best way to do it. But that's going to take 4 of your Saurus. So now you have 2, and then the gutter or the claw palm Blitzer is just gonna be like, okay, I'll have that one, and just like crunch through whatever Saurus aren't in the cage, and then it's just not a good situation to be in. So then we have Talk Show Terror, Our Name is Legion, and Atomics, the Rowdy Rebel Rousers. We have 1840 and 2180, but the 1840 is actually 17 something because they have 70k extra. No, more than that. No, that's right. No, that's not right. I'm tired. It is 60k extra. So they have 1780. So they get 300. They get 400k against the Nurgle.
Did you take the cash into account?
That's what I just got wrong about 5 times.
You were just doing.
Yeah.
So they do have a single bench already, and they get a ton of inducements. Yeah. The Nurgle are down a rookie Nurgle warrior, which is like not nothing.
It's strength 4.
It's relevant. It's strength 4, disturbing presence.
And the foul appearance, like he's a pretty big blitz target because he was a rookie, and then foul appearance is still a thing on blitz targets. In
terms of the standings, how are they doing?
They're both sort of mid, if I recall correctly.
Atomics is in 6th, 5th after Locust moves up, and
7th.
Our Name is Legion is in 13th.
Yeah.
I kind of like the Necro here, but I feel like Atomics is going to pull this one.
Let me try to put on my Nurgle hat for a second and see how I would feel.
Atomics is a real team, so it's already a bit of a stretch. Oh, the next prediction is pretty brutal.
Yeah, I wouldn't be upset playing this Necro team with that Nurgle team. Like I think I'd have a pretty reasonable chance. The inducements are certainly annoying, but the big thing is he doesn't have a great way of taking advantage of a wizard, which I'm going to take the Nurgle on that one. It's a big Nurgle team, and I wouldn't be upset to play that team as Nurgle, and I'm not very scared of what the inducements they could take were.
And what do you think of 1860 Chaos versus 1870 Nurgle?
Well, I mean, I'm going to take the Nurgle. I normally, it's not actually that bad because the Horn of Gorthank has removal tools, which is kind of the part that you tend to lose out on in the big bash mirrors when you're down a bunch of TV, right? Like normally the biggest problem is like they've got like 3 Claw Mighty Blow and you have none, right? So like then you lose. But they have like 3 and you have 2 in this case, which isn't too bad. And then because you can make up some of the strength difference by like inducing Borak or something, which helps quite a bit. But you kind of need something that's a little bit unfair to make that work well. Like if you had a good ball carrier Beastman, I would be a lot more in favor of, like I would think it's a lot closer. I wouldn't instantly call it for the Nurgle like I am, for example. I think it's still Nurgle favored, but I wouldn't be instant.
Yep. And then we have 2190 Chorfs versus 1670 Chaos. Not a good week for Chaos. So the Nurgle or the Chaos have 3 Claw Mighty Blow, including 1 Claw Palm. They have 4 Mighty Blow overall and 3 Guard, versus the Chorfs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Mighty Blow and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Guard. And 1, 2 Claw Mighty Blow.
The Nurgle do have 13 players. The Chaos do have 13 players, which is pretty good. And they have a good ball carrier, whereas...
But the Chorfs have 3 benches.
Yeah, the Chorfs don't have a ball carrier. If the Chorfs didn't have 3 bench, I think I would be a lot more inclined to aim with Chaos, just because...
Yeah, but Chaos don't have the worst inducements. Like, you can get some... Like, you can get,
Borak is good here, yeah. Bribes, if you have a dirty player.
He does have a dirty player.
Bribes are really good.
But I think I like I like Slade here.
Yeah, I'm gonna cheat a little bit and kind of rely on the fact that Slade's at the top of the table and use that to like push me in Slade's favor. But if the Chorfs didn't have a huge bench, I'd probably actually go Chaos, frankly. I mean, they have enough Claw Mighty Blow to remove a Chorf or two, and as soon as a Chorf or two goes away, like the Chorfs can cascade pretty hard. But they have a huge bench, so it's going to be really hard to get through the like Goblin Meat Shield if they set that up correctly. And the bribe is pretty useful.
Do you remember, by the way, to cancel the points for the Bring Out Your Undead?
I mean, I didn't, because it was very obviously still going to be a win for the Chaos anyway, even if that wasn't a...
Oh, that's true. Yeah, okay. No, that's fair. I just remembered it because we're about to predict Bring Out Your Undead. Yeah, I think like I know Locust plays the kill matchup, and I know so does Slade. So yeah, I think if those teams try to kill each other, Slade will be more successful.
I think that's true. I mean, that's fair, taking into like sort of the account how the coaches play. I think that's very fair. And I'm going to take that as well. But I don't think that it would be unwinnable for a Chaos team, but it makes it quite a bit harder when there's a big bench for the Chorfs as well. Bring Out Your Undead and Sierra Boys Nashville Nasty. Sierra Boys' team is not looking great right now. There's the really good Werewolf, but it's going to be so hard to get good hits with him with Tomb Guardians in the way. We're going to have a lot of inducements, but that's not necessarily a great thing to have.
No, I mean, Necro do have good inducements.
Yeah, Wizard is good, but they don't have a good way of taking advantage of it, other than like... you're not doing the thing where you turn a wizard into a touchdown. You're doing the thing where you just put the ball on the floor and you're like, haha, you're Khemri, enjoy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to actually take the Necro.
Okay. I'm
going to go.
We have to pick something different at some point. So I'll take the Khemri. But I think you're right. Like the Necro have good inducements and they have a pretty good shot at winning this, because dealing with the movement 8 werewolf is pretty difficult to do. And inducements are certainly nice. On the other hand, the Khemri have a okay chance at moving up towards sort of playoffs, and the Sierra Boys doesn't really anymore, so there might be a little bit more playing for SPP rather than winning, so I'm taking that into account a little bit. So that is going to be all of those predictions. Let me shield your eyes from the bright whiteness, and you have 3 seconds before I pull it over. 3, 2, 1. So this is what the current scoreboard looks like. We are both doing very badly in Div 1, but I'm doing slightly worse, if that makes you feel better.
But you're doing a lot in REL 2, so I feel like
you are. Big Chuck is currently in the lead in REL 1, but he's in the lead with 8 points. So like very clearly REL 1 is pretty competitive when it is hard to predict the matches where the leader is at 8. There's a lot of people around, low 3, 5, 1, 0. Luminous and Superfed are the closest to Chuck there. In REL 2, I am tied with Superfed with 13 points. You have 9, and Yayo has 11 are the next ones up in that list. And overall, we still have Superfed leading because of his, sort of third place performance in REL 1 and first place performance in REL 2, combining to give him 18. But what is important is that I have 8 and you have 5.
Yep, you're winning.
Locust is at...
We were doing so well.
That's true. Unseen Walker, Locust, and Luminous are all ahead of us as well with 10. So we are, and Yayo with 14. So we are losing to our audience right now, which makes me feel bad because they let us do these shows. Like, I think means that maybe we know a little bit about things, but very clearly we don't. They should let our audience do this instead. We're not doing it.
I have no doubts there.
We're clearly worse at this than our audience, so they should take over our jobs, I think. Let's bring up the title screen. I think that's going to be us. Thanks everybody for hanging out. We will be back next Wednesday at the same time roughly for week 9. That's almost in double digits. Very close. Like surprising. This is going surprisingly fast, and I don't know why.
It really is.
I don't know why season 14 is so different, but it feels like it's going fast to me. Maybe because we're just home all the time because of this like quarantine thing, so time seems like it's going faster. As per usual, feel free to let me know if you want me to stream your game live or something. If it's scheduled at a reasonable time, I can try it. And feel free to let us know if you think your game is interesting, and we can prioritize watching that. But at this point, we're probably going to be focusing on games that are playoff relevant.
Primarily playoff.
So thanks everybody for watching. We will see you next week. And until then, I'm Steakmittens. And we'll see you next time, folks.